I'm Frank Dominguez, General Manager of WDAV Classical Public Radio. I'm here at the Stage Door Theater in Uptown Charlotte to welcome you to Noteworthy, a concert series developed in collaboration with Fair Play Music Equity Initiative. Our shared vision for this project is to build one Charlotte music community that values all voices. And as you're about to see, we're willing to reach beyond the traditional definition of classical to pursue this goal. Noteworthy is WDAV's initiative to break down cultural divisions among music lovers by amplifying the contributions of musicians of color in our programming and through concerts like these. I'd like to thank Ortho Carolina for their support of Noteworthy and their long-standing commitment to the work we do to build community through music. Noteworthy is made possible in part by funding from ASC, and we thank Blumenthal Performing Arts Center for the use of their space. Our original plan for this series was to bring people from all corners of Charlotte together to enjoy these unique collaborations in person. COVID-19 had other plans, and so we're kicking off Noteworthy virtually. Wherever you are and however you're viewing, make yourself comfortable and ready to listen, love, and take note.
What's up, everybody? I hope you are ready for a special Noteworthy performance tonight. My name is David Daly Arrington, founding member of Fair Play Music Equity Initiative, and I'm excited to be your host for this evening. I hope you came ready to hear great music and you're ready to experience what happens when amazing soul, Latin, rock, hip-hop, pop, and soul artists from the Charlotte music community mash up and collaborate with classically trained musicians. That's right, you're in for an evening. As an artist myself, I know tonight's performer wants to feel all of the energy from you as the audience, so please comment and drop your favorite emoji in the chat section to let them know you're feeling it, all right? But here we go. Without further ado, I need your help in welcoming to the Noteworthy stage, singer-songwriter, cultural organizer, Harvard and arts education graduate who has studied under the greats like Vijay Iyer and Esperanza Spalding, my cousin. That's right, that's right. Please help me and put your hands together for Quisol.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Quisol, and thank you for letting me play this music for you. This first song is called The Cards. Even when you're gone so far, I know I'm the one you're calling. And even when we fall apart, I know that I'll still be calling. I like the way we're playing staying orbit, and I'll be back for sure. But we should take some time to be alone in the quiet. Tell me those words in the quiet. Listen to me in the quiet, and I can finally breathe in the quiet. But I need your music, the violin. It's stuck in my head now, baby. Do you need someone to vibe with? Need someone to run away? Let it be me, and let me know it is. I can bring, just let me come along. Déjame ver, consultamos con el cielo. Y con tu palma yo veo crecimiento. You say the words, but you keep them out the way. You keep them out the way, cause I just wanna use them right. But I know when you're calling, calling. Ya no entendí la verdad. Vi una estrella fugaz. Se me cayó entre tus labios. Yo sé que se va y volverá a habitar una estrella fugaz. Abre las manos porque quiero ver entre tus líneas lo que puede ser. Yo imagino algo que no veo. lo que no hiciste, porque yo sí creo en una vida llena de amor, marchando lento a ritmo de tambor. Me siento listo para obtenerlo, baby, esta manera never done before. No sé qué diré cuando nos veremos, pero sé que juntos desafiaremos. Quédate un rato, solos en el cuarto, planes que haremos con tú y mis santos. But I need your music to baile. It's stuck in my head now, baby. Do you need someone to vibe with? Need someone to run away. Ya no entendí la verdad. Vi una estrella fugaz, se me cayó entre tus labios. Yo sé que se va y volverá a orbitar. Una estrella fugaz. 'Cause I know when you're coming, I know that it's coming, baby. I know when you're coming, I know that it's coming, baby. It's not like I'd be nothing without you, but I can't seem to keep you off my mind these days.
Quisol,
Day.
the one and only.
That's right.
Dude, this is, again, my first time hearing you play live.
Oh.
And I would say if I kept it to one word, it would be distinct. There's only one Quisol.
That's true.
So for those, much like myself, who have never experienced you live, haven't experienced much of your music, what makes you you? You can start from the beginning, how you got into music, but also your journey, a little bit of your journey that has led you to today as a featured artist on the Noteworthy Performance Series.
Yeah. So, I guess there isn't really one Quisol because it is my last name. So I have a brother, Daniel Quisol. I got my father, John Quisol. But I chose to go by my last name for music because I wanted to really center my heritage and where I'm from. A lot of times growing up as a person in the United States who is Filipino and Puerto Rican, our history is like one paragraph in one page of a history textbook, when the U.S. has been running these countries or colonizing them for hundreds of years. And we built a lot of the stuff you see here, and a lot of people don't know just the history. So I wanted to center that. And I got into music, way back in elementary school. 3rd grade was that talent show. We did a musical through the ages, through the decades, and I always remember that I was offered a lead part and in this like trio, and I was too shy to take it. I was like, oh, I want to be backup. And then ever since that day, I was like, I should have taken it. I should have done it. So I wanted to be on the front and center because I was playing backup for a lot of people in my church here. Well, Mecklenburg Community Church back in the day. I went there and did music at College of Charleston when I was doing worship music at The Journey. It was like a college youth group that met in an upstairs bar. So I came in through that way and started writing my own songs, played with a group here called Yara, a friend of mine, Jamil Yara Moore. Here in Charlotte, we played every venue. And throughout college, I always gravitated towards music. And whenever I was studying or writing essays, I was always like, dang, I wish I would actually be recording or in the studio or performing like I was before in high school. And so as soon as I graduated, I came back to Charlotte and I was like, you know what, let's start doing some shows. No one was asking me to play anywhere at that point, so I started throwing my own shows with a group of friends. We made this collective called Queen's Collective.
Cool.
And that's kind of where I started really doing Quisol as like performing and getting asked to play places and recording and putting it out on, streaming services and whatnot.
Dope. Hey, sometimes you got to create your own opportunities,
exactly.
Huh? Indeed.
Yeah. This next song is a piece called Something About You that I co-wrote with a dear friend of mine, Janae Roxana, who's also a Charlotte artist on the rise. So shout out Janae. in this time of social distance, there's a lot of this longing and long distance relationships and phone calls happening. So this is kind of a piece for that. I just wanted to call you just to ask you about your day. See, I've been slowly roaming over my city streets, thinking about the way you like to drink your coffee too sweet. There's just something about you, I tried to shake, just couldn't run away. Just something about you, that's making me wanna stay, making me wanna stay. And did you know I was thinking about you when you called? The world's on fire and I'm alright with it. I wish I could hold you 'cause I know you're scared, but we'll be alright in the end. Just something about you, I tried to shake, just couldn't run away. Just something about you, who's making me wanna stay, making me wanna stay. How do I know if it's real? Can I really know what I feel? How much longer can I wait before my heart starts to break? We get caught up with the lies, we live like we'll never die. We praise material wealth, it's starve our spiritual selves. Well, the change keeps coming, and it keeps me moving. Change keeps coming, and the world keeps turning. Change keeps coming, and it keeps me moving. Change keeps coming, and the world keeps turning, turning, turning. Will I be able to see the reasons for anything? Went down to nothing, I gained everything. Then I woke from a dream. And can a science is to the spirit? We're asking how, not why. Yeah. And can technology secure the future? When will this violence subside? Well, the change keeps coming, and it keeps keeps me moving. Change keeps coming, and the world keeps turning. Change keeps coming, and it keeps me moving. Change keeps coming, and the world keeps turning, 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 and the world keeps turning, turning, turning. The world keeps turning, 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 and the world keeps turning, 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 and the world keeps turning, turning, it's turning, and the world keeps turning, turning, it's turning, and the world keeps turning, 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 yeah. Oh, and the world it keeps turning. And the world it keeps turning. And the world it keeps turning. And this world it keeps turning.
So, you studied at Harvard. All right. I'm interested, and I'm sure others are interested in what that experience was like for you and learning from greats like my cuz, Esperanza Spalding. What was that like? Because when I think Harvard, I don't think music.
Right.
What was that like for you?
Right. So, Harvard College in general was not something I thought I could do growing up. My parents were like, it's too expensive, we can't afford it. And no one at my high school made me feel like I would be able to do it, especially my guidance counselor. I won't name her.
As you
but
roll your
public
eyes.
schools.
Name her. Who was it?
CMS. Oh,
Don't do it. Don't explain.
Cut that out. Yeah, so, but then I got a letter in the mail about the Gates Millennium Scholarship, and they were like, "Oh, we saw your SAT score or your PSAT score. You should apply." And that's like Bill and Melinda Gates, and they're like, they pick 1,000. At that point, they picked like 1,000 kids every year to like give a full ride to. So they picked me. Went to College of Charleston. They're like, you can do graduate school, but only in STEM and education and library sciences. I was like, what's that? And I wanted to do music, so I searched high and low for the most artistic education program I could find, and I found art and education at the Harvard Graduate School of Education. So I was like, okay, this is the one thing I'll apply to. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a lot. We'll see. And they let me in, and I was like, okay, word. I guess this is happening. It kind of like was crazy because I was here doing Queen's Collective. I was throwing shows and like playing out and recording, and I really enjoyed what I was doing. It was very like community driven, and it was right after like the Keith Lamont Scott situation happened. We were like, we need to get together and create some alternatives, and I wanted to use music to do that. And then this opportunity was like, now you're gonna get sucked out of there and send you off to Cambridge. And so I went into Cambridge kind of angry. I was like, man, this Ivy League stuff, like I don't even belong here. No one's gonna understand me. I don't even wanna be a teacher. But they have a music school and I can cross enroll. So it was great because I ended up being able to learn about like creating lessons and using art as an education tool while taking, like, Esperanza Spalding taught music activism, and that was her class. It was all about like creating videos and content to like get a message across to people, whether it be like mental health awareness or like prison abolition, or in our case we did one that was about Hurricane Maria and just educating on like the US Puerto Rico relationship and giving the background on it. And Esperanza was like there every week. We talk about the ideas, and she'd poke and ask questions and really facilitate this whole like creation process with us. And
That's cool.
It's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. Make me want to go back to school.
Yeah,
Not
and
really.
That's the thing about like universities. They have all these resources, and I didn't have a lot at my disposal. But one of my things was like, okay, well, if I go to Harvard, I might be able to like tap into some of this money and like distribute it to like people who are doing the work.
Sure.
And like out of to places where historically just hasn't reached.
Sure. No. That's cool, man. That's super cool.
This next song is called Hummingbird. And the hummingbird is actually a very special animal, creature in many ways. My grandmother, before she passed away this 2019, she said, whenever you see a hummingbird, think of me. And I wrote it about a wind chime that was a hummingbird that you'll hear in the recording. And then I come to find out that in many indigenous traditions in this land and across the so-called Americas, that the hummingbird is also a very sacred animal. My people are Puerto Rican and Filipino, and in Puerto Rico, colibri is apparently, in the Arawak tradition, very spiritually significant, a good omen. So when I talk about the ancient song of the hummingbird, that's what I'm referencing. Sky, I left my world behind to see the rock on higher ground. We took off blissful and headed to time to see the world you left, and yes, the air was drenched with the memory of the life you left. Oh, the atmosphere, it held you, and there I held you too. Sing an ancient song, let the wind blow through my hair, and let us sing along. Oh, sing an ancient song, let the wind blow through my hair, and let us sing along. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then to see you there among the rubble, I can't, I don't know. I see the wreckage of a lifetime before me there. And then to see you there among the rubble, I feel the waters rise, no I'm drowning next to you. Oh, hummingbird, sing your ancient song, let the wind blow through my hair, and let us sing along. Hummingbird, sing your ancient song, let the wind blow through my hair, and let us sing along. Oh, hummingbird, sing your ancient song, let the wind blow through my hair, and let us sing along. Oh, hummingbird, sing your ancient song, let the wind blow through my hair, and let us sing along. I left my world behind to see the rock on higher ground. I left there asking, what will we build now?
So let's talk about Noteworthy and your collaboration with your team. How was that for you, and is it new? Just collaborating across what I would say genre lines. How was that experience for you, and did it inspire you in any way? Especially when you talk about activism, I just think about, again, the divides we live in and how a collaborative process, one that is fruitful, can inspire you to continue to want to do that in the various spaces, including music. So for yourself, how has that been?
The overall experience has been really great. I did have like a back of my mind fear, like, oh, it's classical music, people are going to be like stuck up or like gonna. Are we allowed to curse on this? I don't know.
Hey, it's your interview.
They're gonna not think highly of my music or something, but actually they were very on board and excited, and just really energetic about playing something new that they haven't heard before. Cool. So that was nice to come here and be like, oh, they're already on board for this, and like I don't have to convince anybody or prove myself, so that's cool. And I think it goes back to what I was saying about Harvard, is like the symphony and the opera and the ballet get all this like foundation money and like wealthy donors, and they're able to like build things like this in the halls and put on these very like high budget shows, whereas like this is my first time ever in this building in the Blumenthal, and I grew up in Charlotte, and there's, like you said, there's that divide. So I'm really excited about this collaboration because it is bridging different worlds where there's all these new and innovative thing that like people of color are always creating, and actually funneling some resources into it and showing like this is actually something really great that we made, and we can do some more of this. So, and a lot of times, like being in these like Ivy League conversations with foundations and nonprofits, they're like, oh, we don't know, nobody applied for this grant, or we didn't hire any people of color because we just don't know any. Sure. And I'm like, okay, let's build these bridges then and make these relationships, and just keep growing and growing.
Absolutely. That's what's up. That's your role, Quisol.
Bridge builder.
That's your role. Good stuff. So I'm sure you're working on new music, new projects. Again, we're very much thankful for you participating in Noteworthy, but let people know, what are you working on now? What can they look forward to? Yeah,
and I'm super grateful to be here as well. And this feels so magical to be in this room. I am working on, it started as a new album, and then I decided it's going to be two different projects. One is In the Flesh, and that will feature 2-3 of the songs that you heard today, and some other more acoustic songs. I just got a harp. This whole classical music, it's like, I want your harp. So I got a harp, and I just started learning how to play it like 4 days ago. And so that'll be on it. And it'll be very raw. I want to do like no auto-tune, like very clear, like classic, like timeless music. And then Dream World is the other project, and I want that to be like hard tuned all the way, like banging beats. I want it to be like stuff that you will play in the club when they open it again, because I mean, I got many sides. I'm a Gemini. So.
Hey, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So definitely, again, we're thankful for you being a part of Noteworthy, and definitely looking forward to what you got coming up. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for having me so much.
Appreciate you. All right.
So this next song, thank you so much, actually. You're still tuning in. Thank you for riding with us. These are our last two. The first song is In the Flesh, and it kind of bleeds into the second song, Cities. And I wrote this about leaving Charlotte in 2017 when I went to Harvard and did graduate school there and entered a new world. Everything is so different in New England. And meeting someone very special who helped me along in the ride. And this new project called In the Flesh is coming out sometime this year. I'm still working on it. And this is a never before seen, heard preview of this song, so it's exciting to share it returning to Charlotte, back in the hometown, to play this music here today. So without further ado, this is In the Flesh. Cause it's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. It's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. It's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. It's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. So can we go back to them? To them? To them? To them? Can we go back to them? To them? To them? To them? Can we go back to them? Our souls, our friends, our love, our end. Cause it's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. It's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. It's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. It's funny how you show just one side of yourself on the internet, then in the flesh. You're more stunning than I recall. I left home for Cambridge, and I don't know nobody. But now I got somebody, and now we're dancing in my room. The snow reflects the daylight. We wake up in a hurry, but we make time for coffee before we see you to the door. And when the morning steals away from me, won't you stop so we can eat? I'll prepare a spread of toast and butter, instant coffee while I stretch the hours left with you before they fade to memory. And I'm alone. Oh, we could both be gone together. I read your letters, they hang in my room. I've been running through these cities, I pray the cops don't get it.
Yes, yes. Give it up for Quisol. One more time in the chat. Give it up for him. If you love that, give it up for him. Thank you, Quisol. Thank you, musicians. Thank you all. Hey, this is what we're about here at Noteworthy, about putting people together to create unique experiences that hopefully will inspire us all. So, without further ado, I'm going to throw it back over to my guy, Frank. Frank.
Thank you, Daly, and thanks to all of you for joining us this evening. To learn more about the artists you saw tonight, visit noteworthyclassical.org. There you can find links for connecting with them on social media, information about future Noteworthy concerts, and join our Noteworthy email list. On behalf of WDAV Classical Public Radio and Fair Play Music Equity Initiative, I'd like to thank Ortho Carolina and the ASC for their support, and Blumenthal Performing Arts for use of the Stage Door Theater. I'm Frank Dominguez, General Manager of WDAV, wishing all of you a good night. Thanks.